So in post-editing, I have identified 5 skills that each student, each professional must acquire. If not, you will be obsolete. And those 5 skills, AI, as of now, has not mastered them. If you master those skills, you will realize that your volume of work will increase as freelance or whatever. So the very first competence that translators need is the most obvious competence. And what is it? Is the ability to translate. Because if you don't know how to translate, just like you don't know any profession, somebody comes and does anything and gives you will not know whether it's right or wrong. If you have not mastered translation, I mean really mastered translation, artificial intelligence translation will just give you the impression that sometimes it is so nice that you just assume that it's good, while it is not. You need to master translation. That way you can identify the errors, you can identify the defects in the translation and cure those defects. That is the first competence, which is a foundational competence. It's not something we need to talk about because we are here to learn how to translate. And I'm saying this insistently because students are avoiding translating by themselves. They want to use AI constantly and it blocks their ability to work on their own. The second competence that you need to acquire is critical thinking. I think Professor Donovan mentioned it there. It's critical thinking. Translation should help, and translation training should not only help them, but force students to engage or to evaluate and adjust machine translation to ensure that the final product is natural, idiomatic, and coherent. Critical thinking also helps the post-editor, the translator and post-editor, to identify errors in the source text. Because not all source texts are written by Shakespeare or Molière or whatever. Most source texts are written by specialists in their field, but who are not specialists in writing or in language. So very often, for those who have been working, you discover that source texts actually have problems. The AI translates what it sees. It does not go to analyze the source text to see that this was a problem here, there was a problem here. When you type over, when they translate and give to you, if you have not developed the critical thinking skill, you will just say that this is what was in the text, the machine has translated it correctly, and it's fine. So, the critical thinking is also part of it. Now, look at, let me just give you a very short example. There's this translation like something, il est riche, puissant, et naïf. And the machine translates to you that he is rich, he is powerful, and naive. It's perfect translation, it's linguistic translation, it's perfect. But with critical thinking, you will realize that there is a problem with that translation. When you say il est riche, il est puissant, il est naïf, you are placing all those 3 things at the same level. It's like all of them are desirable, all the 3 are desirable. Meanwhile, not all 3 are desirable, just 2. So a good translator who has a critical mind will say that, will instead say, he will not say a naive, he will say he is rich, powerful, but naive. You said there's a change there. So translation, post-editing sometimes goes beyond translation. Okay, because of time constraints, like I said, post-editing goes beyond just correcting translation. It helps to improve the flow of the text. In many cases, the post-editor is called upon to make stylistic changes that will make the text more fit for purpose. go to another one, writing skills. Translators, all translators are authors. They are not original authors, they are the derivative authors. Because the authorship derives from other person's authorship. But they are authors nonetheless. Because the person reading their text is reading only what they have translated. So what you need, all translators need to develop their writing skills. Then the last one is language proficiency, which is also one of those things that we should take for granted. All translators must develop mother tongue proficiency in their professional work. Most people, they are satisfied with functional proficiency that you can just speak and let some people understand. That's okay. If you are driving, if any person driving between Yaoundé and Buea, you see on the road, saying more is see. And then it's translated under 5 deaths here. You see that is somebody who doesn't have native proficiency in English. Something is in a series of passive noun, abstract, a series of abstract nouns, and then in English they just write it again in a series of abstract nouns. If you have native language proficiency, you will never write that type of nonsense. But it is there all along 5 deaths here, meaningless. Meanwhile, in English, if you have native proficiency in English, you will say 5 died here. When you say 5 deaths here, what does that mean? Nothing. So, these 5 are just some of the 5 areas that students in the School of Translation must develop. That some of the competencies they must develop. If you don't develop these competencies, you will become obsolete on the market tomorrow. So, there is the market has changed.